Hello, welcome to Show and Telling. We're in the studio today, so it sounds so much nicer. Monty, Mel, our editor, and Jackie Gillies.
I'm so excited to be here with you, ladies.
Jackie, from the Housewives of Melbourne, you are a very sought-after psychic and medium. You're married to Ben Gillies. Do you hate that I always say who your husband is?
Do you know what? Ben's so humble that he's just been sitting here going, like, look at him, just sitting there. Yeah, we see the look, just going, Jax. No, I don't hate it. I have the most supportive husband.
He is. I've just been talking to him for 10 minutes. He's just the nicest guy.
He's so lovely.
He's beautiful.
I'm so blessed. He really balances me out.
He's obviously from Silverchair, so he was famous very young. Like, people get really fucked up when they get famous really young.
Yeah. And he's not fucked up.
Wow.
I mean, he has his issues like everybody else.
Everyone does, yeah.
You know, but he's very grounded and very humble. Like, I am so, like, I get tears. I'm getting all teary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm really blessed. I prayed for Ben and here he is. I prayed that I would have a wonderful relationship.
Mel, because Jackie, you're very much into putting up on your boards, your
manifestation,
which I am 100% agree with, because I used to get really into The Secret, which I know
that's the power of
the law of attraction, and I would test it out with car parks. I'd go, I'm going to get my car park. I'm going to get my car park.
Yeah,
and then seriously, like I know a lot of people think, wow, our bullshit. I wholeheartedly believe in it as well.
Yeah.
But you literally had a picture of Silverchair and your husband up there saying, I love you.
Yeah, I'm going to marry you. Yeah, when I was 14. And then 2 years later, I was 15 and a half. What had happened was there was a course that was on that. It was a music industry course, so you learnt all about the different facets of the music industry course. And there was only 8 people that was accepted in, or between 8 and 12 people that were accepted in through the Hunter region. And unbeknown to us, Silverchair were paying for this course to give back to the Hunter region of Newcastle. Wow. And so I went and sang Simply the Best and I got in. But nobody knew that Silverchair were paying for this course. So halfway in the middle, they were just touring with, I said, the Peppers and Blink-182 and whatnot. And so nobody had known until one day they walked in. And I went, oh, my God, they're the boys from the band. But previously, before that, I had that poster. And so what had happened was I knew Ben for those 2 years. Yeah. And then, this is all in my book, by the way, showing up. What had happened was I hadn't seen Ben. So that 2 years had gone, we had done the course and then we'd left. And then I went in that relationship where I wasn't happy that we'd spoken about before, which it was quite an emotionally abusive relationship and very controlling, and I'd lost myself. And then I remember I said one day to the universe that I'm just over this and that if you're really here, then prove it. And I started writing, and then I saw an angel. Like, I'm looking at you. And so many people say to me, Jackie, did that really happen? I said, yes. And they tell me about their experience. 100% it happened.
So what did the angel look like?
It looks like a little bumblebee with little wings.
Really?
Yes, with little wings. And I have to tell you, it was like I was in a different consciousness. It was like if somebody had talked to me, I wouldn't have felt it was no pain. It was just love. It's almost like I have to try and articulate this because sometimes when I say it, people like go, is this really true? And it's like, yes, it is true. It's like if somebody had hugged me. It's like my mum. I was so engulfed with love. Wow. That's all I could feel. And then literally, like I said, a week and a half later, I started seeing images of people's lives and starting receiving messages. But I've got to go back to the manifesting of Ben. And so I was in that relationship. It ended. And I had said to the universe, I'm not going to date another man for 4 years. I wrote a list of everything that I wanted in a relationship. I put it under my pillow. And it's like this is the art of law and attraction. When you ask for something, you need to release it and surrender it to the universe. So I released it and I surrendered it. It's like posting a letter. When you post a letter, you don't ask when it's going to get there. But you've got to stay consistent in your mindset so your subconscious mind attracts the energy that you're asking for. So I had written this note of what I wanted, put it under my pillow, and I was doing psychic medium readings. That's what I was well known for, well before I started Housewives or went on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. And
I forgot you did that.
Yeah, that was hectic. That's another story.
So good.
That was it. I love you.
So good.
Yeah, that was so hectic, but that's another story. So anyway, I'd heard in my mindset an energy say to me, it was my own voice. That's how I hear the energy of people. So it's my own voice that I'm hearing literally. And it said that you need to go to this party. And I got a phone call from a girlfriend that afternoon saying, I'm having a party in Bondi and I hadn't seen her in 5 years. And she says, it's a housewarming party and I haven't seen you in so long, Jack's come down. So I'm not coming down. I don't want to be around the energy, Right. Just didn't want to be around that energy. And so I said no. And I went down the street, bought myself a bottle of red and thought I'm going to watch a movie and I'm going to have a glass of red. This is after I'd just done a day of psychic medium readings in Newcastle. And again in my head, as I was pouring the wine, I heard you need to go to Bondi, this party. I went, oh, fuck it. Sorry, guys.
So it's like a thought.
Yes,
it's like a thought comes
yes,
into
but
your
those
head.
thoughts that come into your head is your intuition speaking to you. Now, I'll get to what is, how do you differentiate true guidance to false guidance? I'll get to that in a second. So I listened and I was listening to my intuition. Drove down to Sydney from Newcastle, 2-hour drive, go in there and these two guys, so a lot of musicians with their own actors and whatnot, walk in and two guys, one that's a well-known actor goes, you gave me a reading a week ago and everything you've actually said has started transpiring in my life. And this other guy walked in that worked for the Sydney Morning Herald and says, oh my God, like you gave me this reading 6 months ago and everything that you had said had happened. And then in walks Ben Gillies. And he looked at me, I looked at him and he goes, I remember your walk. But this is where it's how the energy worked. He
That
goes,
sounds sexy.
this is, he goes, can I get your number? I said, no. I said, you can get my psychic number because I know what you want. You're out there shining up with different shrells. And I said,
What
and
do
I
you
know.
mean he said, I remember your walk? So was that from...
When I was 14, 14 and a half, 15,
Wow.
when I started the course. So I just turned 14 when I had written on his poster, but the course started about 14 and a half, 15.
Right.
And I was a year younger than Ben. Yeah, even though we were in the same year.
Right.
And so he goes, I remember your walk. You remember that energy. And I went, oh, my God. At first I didn't recognize him because he had his hat on and he was training because they were doing another record.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen him in years. You've got to understand this. It's not like he had the hat on, his hair was kind of pulled back. So to me, I didn't register it was Ben.
Right.
And then I went, God, it's you. And then when he asked for the number, I said, no, you're going to get my psychic number. And then I said, I'll drop you off at the Ivy because he was meeting up with these Shirelles. He was out there single, living his
What
best
is a
life.
Shirelle?
The chicks he was shagging and shining
yeah.
up with.
Oh.
Which, he was single doing his thing. And it's very, but I know the worst of the worst about Ben, let me tell
Yeah.
you. So anyway, I took him to the Ivy and I was with my girlfriend and he was meeting up with this girl. And I remember she saw him talking to me and she bolted from where the pool bar was over to Ben. I thought, what is she doing? Because she was like, well, I don't want somebody else talking to this guy. And so anyway, I said, anyway, Ben, I'm going. And I went and had one more drink with my girlfriend. And I remember looking over and I wrote him a message. So I got his number, but I had two phones. One was my psychic phone where people take bookings and the other one was my personal phone. And I'd said, oh, God, that looks amazing. Not. And I remember him looking up and just laughing. Anyway, and I left and went home. That night, because my dreams, when I dream, within 2 days, what I've dreamt will happen. And so,
Shit, that's pretty
you
scary.
gotta ask
Yeah,
Ben
I
that.
know.
That's another thing. That's another story. But so anyway, moving on with that. So what happened next was I dreamt Ben that night. The next day, I phoned Ben and Ben and I dreamt exactly the same dream. Now, what people don't know is this is how psychic energy works. Before Silverchair became massive and sold millions and millions of albums, Ben had 3 consistent dreams with another band member and they dreamt exactly the same thing that they were playing to hundreds of thousands of people before Silverchair became known. Because he was doing it through the passion. Those little goosebumps you're getting down your legs and feeling it. So what had happened then was Ben and I had dreamt this dream and I knew something was here and I was like, Ben is not my man. Like I was into them all, the European tall guy. No, he's out there shining. No, it's not happening. Yeah. So we hung out as best friends for a year. Then he finally kissed me. So we sleep in the same
For a
bed.
year you hung
Yes,
out before
as
he even
best
kissed
friends.
you.
But he tried, but I wouldn't let him touch me. I said, for me to kiss a man has to mean something.
You two, seriously,
talking about
Yeah.
home remedies.
kindred spirits, same boobs as well.
Yeah, F
Same
clubs.
size.
And she's
Same
got the Rolling
size.
Stones. Woo!
I have
I've got a
never
t-shirt like that.
seen bigger boobs than you two. That is natural.
Can I tell you the difference though?
Go. Tell me,
You
darling.
are a very small frame.
I don't know
think
about
yours
that.
I think yours look bigger than mine because I'm bigger. They don't look quite as big.
But you don't wear tight clothes. Mel's got, and we often talk about this, Mel's got full body dysmorphia. She's the most beautiful womanly body, but
You can
sees
see.
herself as morbidly, hugely, revoltingly like elephant, and she's so not.
No, you are absolutely not. Well, we need to help you with that. That means we're going to show you how to love you, girl.
Well, do you know what I was going to ask you when you were talking about intuition?
Yes.
Right? I think to myself, I have very high anxiety. So when a thought comes into my head, I never know whether to trust that thought or not because I'm like, is that me? Is that my intuition or is that
Okay.
my anxiety talking?
It's your anxiety. So the way that you know what is energy of truth and energy of negativity. So how to differentiate true guidance to false guidance. True guidance acts out of love and goosebumps, and you'll almost be guided to do something without realizing why. Where negative energy will start being riddled with fear and anxiety, and you will constantly keep consuming your thoughts over and over and over, and you know it's not doing anything but keeping you on a conveyor belt of negative thoughts.
That's a good way.
And so what you try to do is you try to make up answers to control why you'll keep consistently thinking those same thoughts. Yeah. That's negative energy.
Can you give an example, Mel? Like what would be one where you're not sure if it's intuition or anxiety?
It could be, with me, everything's off the charts. So it could even be going somewhere and thinking,
is something going to happen?
Should I go?
Yeah,
my son had a school excursion.
Yeah.
And he woke up that morning and he said, "Oh, Mum, I don't really feel like going. I've got a bit of a sore throat." And that morning it was pissing down rain. Now, in my head, I'm like, is that a sign something's going to happen? The bus is going to crash. Something's going to happen. Yeah. So I was thinking to myself, okay, I'll let him stay home. So I called my husband, and my husband's like, no, let him go. That's just your mind. And I'm like, okay. But it's those sorts of things that I have in my head. Is it a sign? You hear people say, I didn't get on that plane because something in me just knew.
Do you know what vibe I just got? Do you mind? Because if I get a psychic vibe, it's got to come in.
Of course.
Go.
Your anxieties come from your mother. The way you've been conditioned, okay? You don't talk about that much. So what's happened is you've actually taken on her conditioning and what you've experienced as a child, and it's been morphed into your adulthood. So what's happened is you're actually doing what you said you wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And those are goosebumps you're getting in your legs now. I can feel it. Yeah. So what I want to say to you is what you're doing is because your mum would constantly be like everything's doom and gloom. And I get it because I'm European. Yeah. So for them, it's because they had to come to a country, they had to fight. They were always fighting to get out of a situation of poverty and a war. And who's Polish around you? You'll have to ask your dad that.
Yep.
Because I just heard that very clearly.
Yep.
But anyway, I have to come back to what I was saying. But what I'm saying is you're taking on your mother's energy. So you've got to stop this resistance, and it's about control. When you can't control a circumstance, you start making up scenarios in your head to control what it is that's coming in. So, for example, my God, if my son maybe walks out that door, then maybe something could happen because it's raining. So I'm going to make up a story in my head that's going to make sense to me.
Yeah, right. That this is a sign. I'm ignoring a sign where it's not.
Yeah,
a sign,
it's not.
Anxiety.
That's just to do anxiety and your fear. So the best way to start doing that is you've got to start doing things that make you feel the fear and do it anyway. Like going to the damn jungle.
Oh God!
I'm serious. But what I mean by that is don't say no thanks. I think you'd be amazing at it. You'd be hilarious doing it.
Oh my God!
She would be great.
You would be so miserable in there.
No, darling, I thought that too. But I have to say, it was one of the best things that I had ever done. But you need to release that conditioning, and the only way to release that conditioning is you've got to look at the way that you don't parent the way your mother does. You parent. You're a great mother. I can see that. And and you need to hear that. But I feel like you need to do more things for you. You feel guilty like your mum did if you do things for yourself.
Yeah.
And you need to stop that because what that's essentially doing is a disservice to you.
Yeah.
And your involvement as a mother and also as living your best life, because you can still be the best mother, but you can still live and do things for you. Because I feel like she doesn't. No. And I feel like you help her with that.
We put like,
and I think it's so
but I almost feel the opposite because I'm very selfish. Like I'm almost too selfish to have my own kids.
You're not
so
selfish.
I do a lot of me time.
I don't believe
I'm
you're selfish.
I'll go away and I don't miss my kids or anything. So Stace and our other business partner, her and Mel are very similar in terms of how they're very involved in their kids' lives. Where I'm like, that bores me silly. As long as you're happy and healthy, I'm fucking off here for a bit.
Yeah, but that probably makes you a better mum.
Yeah,
because you're getting your time.
But then
away.
I feel guilty because I do a lot of me time when I'm like, why do people feel guilty about me time? Should I be feeling guilty now? I'm guilty about feeling guilty.
No, you shouldn't feel guilty about that. And this is what I also, again, teach you my Shine Up Live tours is that by
I love
you
how
taking,
you talk. You know, no one can understand you when you say the name of your tour.
Shine Up Live.
Yeah, you got to say it slower.
Do you know why I speak so fast?
Why?
And people need to know this because I've always spoken really fast is because I'm so connected to energy. I'm forever being bombarded by it.
You're right.
So when I walk in, it's like a million miles an hour. And when I slow myself down and when I do that, then I start hearing, like, for example, I'm hearing somebody's committed suicides here. So, yeah. So as I'm sitting here.
So it's too much. So if you talk.
Yes.
Because I just want people to know your show is Shine It Up Live. Now,
Shine It Up Live.
Shine
So,
Up.
but yeah, I'm picking up somebody that has. So
Shut up.
yeah, there is.
What about when you go to sleep though?
No, I know how to protect myself. You need to learn how to protect your energy. And that means protecting yourself from other people's stuff. So once I give a psychic medium reading, I can leave that room and walk off and not take that energy on. Where a lot of people can't do that. So, for example, you know, if your girlfriend comes over and you go, oh, I got to just listen to her crap on about this same situation about her boyfriend or a partner, and she doesn't want to do anything to fix herself. But then it drains you. You're like, you're sitting there thinking about this bloody issue for the next 3 days. It's because you're taking that energy on and you almost feel, again, a sense of guilt for not kind of releasing it because you feel like, what can I do to help her? But she's not helping herself.
Do you physically zip yourself up and down? How do you do it?
Archangel Michael. So I use the power of the white light, and I also use the power of my subconscious mind through meditation. So when I start to feel any type of anxiety or fear, I start affirmations. I start telling myself visually I'm in a space of joy, peace and harmony.
Even if you're not feeling it?
Yes. And then what will happen is I start to feel my senses start releasing any negative thoughts that I had, and I start feeling myself feeling positive again. So I have to tell myself and attune my energy. And I feel like it's important that every human being does that. And I feel it's important that parents teach their children to do that.
To protect yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
yes,
I remember
negativity.
just you saying that somebody taught me to physically, when you're going into a room where you know the energy is going to be strong, you're not necessarily going to be around your people, to zip up your energy. So there's a barrier between you and that energy.
What? So in your mind, literally imagine it.
From foot up around your body, zip yourself up.
Wow.
So you're not letting them into your space.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's quite powerful.
Yeah.
In terms of death, do you see where we go? What do you think? Like taking religion out of it, because I know that you two probably have, both of you probably grown up.
Catholic Croatian.
No, I'm Italian.
Yeah, I know.
But they're so close.
You didn't want to say no because am I supposed to be giving readings here?
You can do whatever you want.
There's a Maria that's passed.
Yeah, my grandmother.
Yeah, she's here.
Yep.
Maria's here. Okay, so I have to show you. Yeah, she is. Yeah, and she's as I'm talking to you, I'm trying to block her out. This is why I speak a million miles an hour, because I start to pick up people's energies. And when a message wants to come through, it comes through so quickly that I've got to articulate it out, because if I don't get it out, it's going to sit.
And see, because you know what, people would go, yeah, but Maria's just a very name.
No.
There's lots. Yeah,
there's a lot of
names.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying is that's if somebody's skeptic about what I do.
Yeah.
But I just saw, as I looked at her, that she'd passed away. I wouldn't have known she was passed if that was just you can't just, you've got to also name how. And by the way, she's wearing the Mother Mary around her neck.
You know what's funny that you say that? When I was a kid,
it's not funny, it's the energy.
When I was a kid, she used to wear, we call it Madonna, right?
Yeah.
She had a big medallion she used to wear around her neck. And when I was a little girl, I used to sit on her lap and I used to say, Nonna, when you die, can I have this?
That was her way of telling you.
So when she died,
Wow.
I got it.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
She actually gave it to me before she died, because she was going in for an operation and she thought she was going to die. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
That was nice.
Shit, because you're going to do a reading for me. I really want my nan to come through.
This will be a one-on-one reading, and it won't be just her that comes through.
I hope she does, though. God, I miss her so
Listen,
much.
what I will say is this. When I give psychic medium readings, I cannot tell you who's going to come through, because when I give readings, it doesn't come from me.
No, exactly.
It comes from...
That's why I wish we could put in a list and go, can you please tap into this, but it doesn't work
doesn't
like that.
work. No, not for me. I don't know about other people, but for me, essentially, it doesn't, because I don't actually remember what I say. When I give psychic mediums, for example, before I started the Housewives of Melbourne, the big boss, I knew she was going to test me. I did a meditation. She had said to me, I want to meet you with the casting director for the Real Housewives of Melbourne. And I walked into the St Kilda pub, and my angel was saying, this woman's going to test you because she knows you're a good reader. This is one of the reasons you're being asked to come on this show. And she said, what can you tell me? And I said, I don't do this to be tested. I do this from the love of my heart, to give you a blessing, but also to receive information that you're meant to hear. And so all of a sudden I said to her, you just broke up with your partner 2 days ago, and I named him.
Right.
And I said, you're going to be okay. And this woman is ungoogleable. Like, she is the boss, like the boss that looks after the Real Housewives of Melbourne. She's quite conservative like that.
Right.
And I said, and your grandfather's here? And she goes, no, he's not. And I said, yes, he is, because I see him standing behind you, and his name's Yosef. She goes, that's not his name. I said, oh, yeah, it is because he's here. And she goes, his name's David. I said, his name's Joseph because he's telling me. And what had happened was she had walked into the toilet, unbeknown to me, rang her mother up, and she said to her 80-year-old mother, she goes, Mum, what's our grandfather's name? Oh, David. She goes, is that his real name? She goes, well, look, you don't know this, but his real name is Joseph.
Oh, Jesus.
And the reason his name was changed is because he was a Holocaust survivor.
Right.
Wow. And she came out, she started crying, and she goes, how do you know that? I said, because I'm psychic. I'm attuned to energy and I can feel energy, and you're meant to hear that right now to prove to you that there is no such thing as coincidences in your life, that everything happens for a reason, but it's how far you evolve and heal yourself from that. And she goes, from that moment, I already knew that you and Ben were going to be in the show. You're the first that we knew. But I said, one of the reasons I did The Real Housewives of Melbourne wasn't to be, oh, look at me. I wanted to do a show that would bring awareness to what I do. And it has. And I've done readings on the show. And so for me, it's about if you can inspire one person in this life like you girls do, then you're doing your job, man. Because that's what we're all here to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
We will wrap this up, but can you just explain to me what you think happens, or do you see anything that happens when you die?
When I do a meditation, what I have been shown is that there is a different consciousness level. Your soul pops out. You don't just end and that's it, because we're all energy. So if you put the psychic side away for a second, scientifically, we're all energy. So how can we not connect to energy? And what I've been told is that we're connected to every living entity, and it's almost like you evolve to a different consciousness level, and it's not Earth. You're evolving, and I can't tell you that exact place, but it's a different consciousness level. Like I believe this is a consciousness level. Then when you pass away, there's another consciousness level, and you keep evolving. Your soul keeps evolving, and you do what I have seen is otherwise I wouldn't be able to give such accurate readings of people that have passed away. They're with their family members that have passed away. I've even given readings where I've named horses and dogs and bloody animals when I'm in my deep state of consciousness of giving readings. So you collectively go back to your loved ones. And I also,
is it in a place where there's not the same pain and stuff that we have on Earth?
No, what I have been told is it's only love, and this is what we're meant to learn here.
Like
it's only
your
forgiveness.
angel.
Yes, it's only forgiveness and love and energy. There is no such thing as hatred, what I've been told, on the other side. And when I say the other side, I don't feel like it's somewhere like, oh my God, like it's deep doom and gloom, because so many people actually think that. What I have experienced and been shown over the years of doing psychic medium readings, it's an only loving energy. And let me tell you, when it is my time to shine away, I am not scared at all. Right. Because if there wasn't another side, I wouldn't be able to connect into the energy that I see and feel. Yeah. But it's loving. And there's no pain, and there's no fear, and there's none of that. We have been conditioned, what I've been told as human beings, with this fear because of life, power, money, greed, comparison. Like I'm always comparing myself to somebody. That's not real. Yeah. What is real is the present moment now. Yeah. That's real.
Jackie Gillies.
You might be crying. I'm really enjoying myself here today.
So I loved it too. You're very tactile, and I love that. I'm very tactile too, but sometimes I think people don't like it, but I love it when people touch me when they're talking.
You know, I'm like that too. But you know what? That's how I am. That's how I express myself.
It's nice though, because when you say something, you will put your hand, and I think it's really nice. I think people should do it more, to be honest.
It's comforting.
It is.
Thank you.
And I did grab your boob earlier, which honestly, my partner has told me, you've got to stop grabbing women's boobs. I'm like, oh my God, I can't help it. Jackie's show, Shine It Up Live. It will be brilliant. It kicks off this weekend. Tickets are on sale now. Slowly say where they get them from.
xojackie.com.
Great. Also, your book is out there under the same name as well, so make sure you grab that. And also, you can get on the list to see you, but I'm sure it's years long, right?
No, what I do now is I don't allow – I used to have a list and I got rid of the list. Right. I'm all about whoever's meant to get in will get in. Right. So I've actually just opened up some readings today. So we're going to book you in.
Right, yeah, I'm so booking in. Yeah. And also you do it over Skype, so you don't have to be near
Yes, I only do online video conference readings now. And I've been doing that for the last year and a half. It's exactly the same as person to person, but it's just because of my other things we've got going on.
Yeah,
I can't be, in one area. So it gives a lot of people, even internationally, I've got a lot of people that come to me, in America and London. But yes, xojackie.com.
Love it. Well, there you go. Get on and try and get in front of Jackie. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Hey, make sure you subscribe to our podcast, Show and Tell the podcast. Also follow us on all our socials, and Jackie on your socials.
Yes, please. Jackie Gillies TV.
Jackie Gillies TV. Super easy. And we will be back next week. Bye.
Bye.